Welcome to my video blog. This is Gina Lazenby, and today I'm with Gopi Patel. Gopi.
Hi, Gina.
Now this is Global Cooperation House. I'm at the UK headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris.
Yeah.
And this amazing organisation has been a tremendous source of sustenance and nourishment to me over the last decade. The focus, in a nutshell, the focus of what you do is teaching people about meditation and self-awareness, isn't it? Would that be appropriate, or you say?
In essence.
In essence.
Absolutely, in essence. I think showing people another way to be and live in this world, to nurture happiness and contentment.
Ah, yes.
And a sense of well-being.
Yes, it's that nurturing happiness and contentment. I think contentment is something that's really missing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Gopi and I have been working on a project recently where we've been looking at bringing soul awareness and to feminine leadership, because that's a conversation for me about supporting women in getting out in the world and leading in whatever quarter that is, at community level to global level. And recently, through that beautiful meeting with Daddy Janki. Now, Daddy Janki is the head of the organisation. She's 96 and she is my spiritual grandmother, and she's an amazing role model for so many people. 96 years old and running this organisation. I use the word running, but that wouldn't be appropriate. She's the head. She would say God runs it, wouldn't she?
Well, she would, yes.
But she is active and she does, quote, run it. I mean,
she does.
It is a global, multinational, multicultural organisation, you say, in all these countries.
She runs the spirit of the organisation very well.
That's a great way of putting it, yeah. So she is inspirational, and I feel she's inspirational for women who lead companies, lead organisations, and I think we can be in these positions of leadership, but we can still be very stressed. Now, what Daddy does it with a tremendous grace and ease. And the depth of her spiritual connection means that she, in a sense, she calls herself the vehicle, doesn't she, rather than the leader.
The instrument.
The instrument, that's it, the instrument for this. So I think she has a lot to show, and the Brahma Kumaris have a lot to teach, in a different way of being that allows us to be in leadership, but without the stress, because we don't want to step forward into stressful situations, but we do need to step forward and lead. So this is what I wanted to explore with you in the conversations that we've been having. How do we do this in this different way? And maybe you could speak to, for a few minutes, about the different way the Brahma Kumaris work. I was inspired when you talked about how this organisation runs differently. I mean, the whole thing is very impressive, because you do these amazing programmes in India, conferences, campaigns, the Just a Minute programme. They're global. And they're, quite frankly, they are amazing. So how do you do all this with, as you say, an army of volunteers?
That's right, yes. Yes, it's a very unique setup.
Yeah.
And I think from the very beginning of the inception of the Brahma Kumaris, the founder of the Brahma Kumaris, Brahma Baba, who went through a deep spiritual transformation himself, very quickly understood that these were principles that society needed an education in, and that in order to be able to kickstart the human economy, we needed to invest spiritually. And I think one of Brahma Baba's key ethos is that, for example, we don't charge for anything we do. And it is an army of volunteers in the sense that individuals who choose to embark and adopt these principles choose to invest in themselves first and foremost, and then whatever it is that they've taken benefit from, they then give. And that's the principle of the organisation. And so there isn't one person at the top that's got a game strategic plan of how something's going to happen, but so much of the organisation's growth has been led by the individual growth. And that's what makes the organisation flourish in an organic way, and where people are not followers, but they are initiators.
That's an interesting
And
distinction.
often when individuals come into any kind of a framework or an organisation in which they want to learn spirituality, want to retreat, to reconnect with themselves, I think the old model has always been, well, we need to be led in this field. And so I find myself often working with individuals that expect to be told what to do, or expect to be given a direction as to where they need to go. And yet so much of a personal sense of direction in this journey is created by how much I look after my mind, how much I look after my intellect, my discernment, how much I look after myself, and how much I'm able to use the principles and the knowledge and the information that's given to me and my practice of meditation to clear my own cobwebs, so that my path becomes clear for me, so that I'm able to express and communicate what I see, to enable something new to happen. And that's a high level of self-responsibility that's encouraged in the organisation, but it's not always that everybody wants to pick that level of self-responsibility up.
Because I think they're used to being led.
Yes.
That is, you can't call it the outside world, but in the world of work as we know it.
Absolutely.
In the way organisations are traditionally run from the top down. I think it's worth pointing out that this is the only spiritual organisation led by women.
Yes, it's the only one that has in its constitution that leadership positions are held by women. Although there is an equal number of men and women, it's not a feminist organisation as such.
There's a lot of men here, but
yes.
the key leadership is women, and it has been since
the beginning, 1936.
You see, that is amazing, because any women's movement has brought women to the fore in the later decades of the last century.
No, Brahma Baba was very clear about this from the beginning. He stepped back away from the mantle of leadership, and whilst he was supporting and sustaining the spirit of it to grow, he created a trust of 8 women and handed over the administrative and the role of leadership to the women.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that has led to an organisation that isn't top down, that does invest in a structure where, as you say, people are empowered. But it is a shift, isn't it, from what people know and how we're educated at school and ways of being, to valuing the inner journey.
Yes, it is a big shift. And it's something that I feel isn't given enough emphasis in organisations worldwide as well. Often my field of work is working with young people, and there are very few organisations I know that are able to create incubators to enable this kind of spiritual investment for their young people, so that young people aren't just being thrown into positions of leadership with just skills and information, but the capacity to lead from within is developed. And when that kind of investment is made, be it in young or old and anything, when they come into an organisation and that kind of investment is made, you are building individuals not just with a good set of ideas, but anchors that will enable an organisation to ride through anything.